think it's just picture, but you don't know some. Okay, thank you. What's that?
All right.
All right, if that does any better for me. Thank you, please be seated. All right, can the interpreter hear me?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, great, thanks very much. All right, this is the 2 p.m. initial appearance calendar for December 2nd, 2025. Did we lose the interpreter?
Oh, he's on the headphones.
Oh, okay, I apologize. I forgot that we only have one person speaking Spanish. Okay, sorry. All righty. The court's orders for the taking of fingerprints and DNA samples that were made on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. Now I must read the victim's rights advisement, which is that if you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that victims have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling, and sentencing, to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. Just grab him. All right, Mr. Vicente Lara, you can come to the podium, please. Hi, sir, right there. Hi, sir, can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Carlos Enrique Vicente Lara.
Carlos Enrique Vicente Lara.
What's your date of birth, sir?
June 15, 2002.
In English, June 15, 2002.
All right. Thank you. And it's my understanding you do speak some English, but you would like to use the services of an interpreter. Is that correct?
Yes, as needed, yes. I'm not too specialized on bilingual.
Okay. That's completely fine with me. You have the right to use an interpreter. I just need to ask you to speak in Spanish and allow the interpreter to translate. All right, but I did get and understand your date of birth. So I'm here to tell you, you're here on a new case. This is going out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. You've been accused of criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and disorderly conduct, also a Class 1 misdemeanor. I did find probable cause for both of those offenses. I am not appointing a lawyer for you today. You have the right to hire a lawyer at your own expense, or to represent yourself in this case. Your next court date will be in the Goodyear City Court. That will be an arraignment hearing. It will be December 17th at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The court address in Goodyear will be on your paperwork. So that is the 17th of December at 1 p.m. You qualify for release on your own recognizance. That means I'm going to give you some orders that are intended to keep the peace while the case is pending. I'm going to let you go home on your promise to comply. And you should be aware that violating my orders could be a misdemeanor or even in some cases a felony. So they will all be in writing, but they do include that you are going to have to stay somewhere else while the case is pending. You may not live where the alleged victim lives. What you can do is a civil standby with a law enforcement officer to collect your important belongings, but you must arrange that in advance with the Goodyear Police Department. You call the non-emergency number, tell them you need a civil standby. They will want to see your paperwork, so don't lose it. They want to see that the court gave you permission, so don't lose that. That's the only way that you can physically go to the residence. No contact with the alleged victim, even if she contacts you first. Do not respond. You may not possess any weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, no alcohol while the case is pending, no driving without a valid driver's license. Bring proof of where you're staying to your next court date. Show the court there. That could be a bill, that could be a note from a person you're staying with. Bring some proof. And if you are served with an order of protection, then you must comply with that also as a term of release in your criminal case. Do you have any questions for me about that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Will you comply with those orders and come to court?
No, they're fair enough.
So is that a yes, you will comply?
No, like, it's fair enough. Like, how you were...
Okay, can you say it in Spanish, please?
Es justo lo suficiente. Es suficientemente justo.
It is fair enough.
Okay, but I need to ask you a yes or no question. Will you comply?
No.
You will not.
Comply?
Right. Will you do what I've ordered you to do, which is to stay away?
Yes, it's a stay away, not comply about it. Not try to challenge it.
No, comply means will you...
Pardon the interpreter, I just want to make sure defendant can hear me on the headset because I feel like he might not be hearing
Can't hear
me
him?
at all. ¿Me puede escuchar por
Oh
el
my
audífono?
gosh.
No.
Hold on, counselor, try it now.
Okay,
Try it now.
I'm sorry. So you haven't been able to hear him this whole time? I'm so sorry.
Sí, ya te puedo escuchar.
Okay, sir, would you like me to start over? I will do the entire hearing over again from the top. Would you like that?
No, me pareció muy justo. Me pareció muy justo.
No, it seemed to be very fair.
Was there anything you wanted to ask a question about? Okay, so I do want to summarize a little bit with the interpreter just to make sure, okay? I am releasing you. Your next court date is December 17th at 1 p.m. The address for the Goodyear City Court is on the paperwork we are going to give you in just a moment. Your orders include find an alternative residence, bring proof of that to your next court date. You may do one civil standby with a Goodyear officer to collect your important belongings. But you must arrange that in advance by calling the Goodyear Police non-emergency line and requesting a civil standby. They will want to see your paperwork to see that I gave you permission, so don't lose it. Do not have any contact with the alleged victim while the case is pending. No contact with the arresting officers. You may not go to the residence except that one time on a civil standby with an officer. Do not possess any weapons. No drugs without a valid prescription. No alcohol while the case is pending. If you get served with an order of protection, then comply with that also as a term of release in the criminal case. Will you do all of the things I just ordered you to do and come to court?
Todas.
Everything.
Great. All right, then thank you very much. Thank you for your patience. And if you'll step to your left, they'll give you that paperwork and you can hand them the headphones. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. And if the interpreter could make a general call for service before I let you go, that would be great.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. ¿Se encuentra alguien en la sala que requiera asistencia de un intérprete? Si levanta la mano, si hay alguien que necesita un intérprete de español.
No hands? Okay. Looks like we're good. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor. You as well.
All right, Mr. Johnson, if you come in, please, Jacob Johnson. After Mr. Johnson will be Corey McGarry. If you go have a seat there, the officer will show you where to wait. But first, I need Jacob Johnson, please. All right, good afternoon, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth, please?
Full name is Jacob Lee Johnson. Date of birth is December 2nd, 1987.
All right, thank you, sir. You're here on a new case. And you have been accused of possession of a weapon by a prohibited person. That's a Class 4 felony. Also, theft by control of a stolen weapon, which is a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for those offenses, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. It will be the same lawyer in this case that you have for your other open case, which is number 21 on the calendar. In that case, you have been accused or charged with dangerous drug possession and narcotic drug possession. Those are Class 4 felonies. Also drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. And in that case, you had an initial appearance on or about September 29th of this year. It does remain open and pending. All right, let me see if I can get your court dates together. I can. So your next court date is the same for both. It is December 8th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown Superior Court. Your preliminary hearing for both of these will be December 11th at 8:30 in the morning. Now, in the new case only, you are going to have a third hearing. It is a bail eligibility hearing. The reason you need that is that you are not eligible for bail today in the new case only because you have come in with probable cause for a new felony while you have an open and pending felony case. And the law says when that happens, you have to be held for a bail hearing. I cannot release you between now and then. So your bail hearing is going to happen in exactly 7 days. It is December 9th at 1:30 in the afternoon. You may or may not be found eligible for bail in a week. You're just not eligible today. On your paperwork, it will be called an evidentiary hearing because it is an evidentiary hearing, but the whole point of it is bail, whether or not you are eligible. So you see your lawyer on the 8th, talk to your lawyer about what's going to happen at the bail hearing on the 9th. Again, that's the new case only. You are held without bond. Now, in the older case, you did have a bond set when that warrant went out. It's a bench warrant for failing to appear at a status conference back on October 9th. I'm just going to affirm the bond set by the judge who issued that, and that is $900 secured with written release conditions that you're ordered to comply with. I'll let you read those for yourself. You shouldn't probably try to post that $900 if you're still being held without bond in the new case, because then you wouldn't actually get out. But you will have the same lawyer for both cases, and you will be back in court on December 8th, which is 6 days from now. All right, if you please step to your left, I'm going to give you paperwork for that. Thank you. Mr. McGarry. And then Jamie Gaines, will you please go to the chair? This is actually done wrong. It should be, by the way, right here. I just have to fix it, because that'll cause things to not search properly. All right, Mr. McGarry, can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Corey Allen McGarry, 11/22/1993.
Okay, thanks. Is your full middle name Alan Donald with a hyphen?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. We're here
Sorry.
on, no problem. You're here on one new case and one probation hold. I'm going to start with your new case. That's number 18 on the calendar. You've been accused of Possession of a weapon by a prohibited person, a Class 4 felony. Theft by control of a stolen weapon, that's a Class 6 felony. Also, 2 allegations of dangerous drug possession, those are Class 4 felonies. 1 allegation of possession of a weapon during the commission of a drug offense, that's a Class 4 felony. Finally, 1 allegation of drug paraphernalia possession as a Class 6 felony. For purposes of this hearing only, the court finds probable cause only for the weapon possession by a prohibited person and the theft by control of a stolen weapon, not for the drug allegations. And the reason is that the police did not provide enough information to support their allegation that what you had was methamphetamine. So for purposes of this hearing only, I'm not finding probable cause on the drug charges, just the gun charges. That does not mean the drug charges are dismissed. They do remain pending against you, and the county attorney can still go forward on them. You should talk to your lawyer more about how that works, but I am not setting release conditions for those offenses, just the weapon possession. Alrighty, you're going to end up with the same lawyer for both cases. Your other one is probation, though. So in this case, I'm appointing a lawyer for you. I'm going to give you 2 court dates, both in the downtown Superior Court. That address will be on your paperwork. The first one is a status conference, December 8th at 8:30 in the morning. Then your preliminary hearing will be December 11 at 8:30. In the probation case, your court dates are going to be December 9th at 8:30 in the morning, and that will be a revocation arraignment and possible disposition hearing on the 9th of December. All of those are next week, by the way. In each of these 2 cases, bond is set at $2,500 secured. That is $5,000 total. If you bond out, comply with all of your written release conditions, and I forgot to check, I need to reprint the new one, please, the PF. No contact with any alleged victim. That's whoever owns the allegedly stolen gun. No contact with that person. That's who would be the victim in the case. No contact with your co-defendant. He's been ordered the same thing. No weapons, no drugs without a valid prescription, no alcohol. You are on probation, so if you do bond out, you have 72 hours to call your PO, and the main number is going to be on your paperwork if you don't know it. All right, we just need to get that reprinted, so if you please go have a seat, we'll send out all of your paperwork at once. Thank you. All right, Ms. Gaines, Mr. Gaines, apologies, Mr. Gaines, and then Ms. Saavedra Escarcega. All right, Mr. Gaines, can I have your full name and date of birth?
Jamie Lamont Gaines Jr., 9/12/92.
Okay, thanks. You're here on a new case. This is going out of the Superior Court. You have been accused of burglary in the 3rd degree, that's a Class 4 felony, possession or use of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and possession of burglary tools, which is a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer to represent you. Your next court date in this case is going to be in the downtown Superior Court. The address is on your paperwork. Your status conference will be December 8th at 8:30 with the preliminary hearing December 11th at 8:30. Those dates will also be on your paperwork. You have a $2,000 secured appearance bond in this case. If you post it, be sure to comply with all of your written conditions. Those include don't go to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, no weapons, no drugs, no alcohol, don't drive without a valid license. Everything is on your paperwork. If you step to your left, I'll give you a copy. Thank you. All right, Ms. Saavedra Escarcega, and then Larry Guillen. Will you please go to the chair, or Larry Gwillen, whichever. All right, ma'am. All right, ma'am, can I ask you to take your hood down, please? All right, thank you. Can I have your full name and date of birth, please?
Viridiana Saavedra, 12/18/02.
Is your second last name Escarcega? Okay, thanks. You were here on a total of 3 matters. I'm going to start with your new arrest, which is number 2 on the calendar. This is a new case going out of Superior Court. You have been accused of narcotic drug possession, Class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia possession, a Class 6 felony. I did find probable cause for those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date in this new case is going to be in the downtown Superior Court. That address is on your paperwork. It'll be a status conference, December 8th at 8:30, which is next week, next Monday. Your preliminary hearing will be December 11th at 8:30. And in this case, you're going to have a, oh, whoops. Sorry, I got to reprint this one, apologies. This is number 2, the PF case. All right. All right, you have a $250 secured appearance bond and written release conditions that include: do not go to the scene of the alleged crimes. That's from yesterday. No weapons, no drugs, no alcohol. Call your PO within 72 hours if you bond out. You are also here on, wait, do you have a PO? Are you on probation? I think
I'm on
you're not.
parole.
Okay, sorry, I had to reprint it one more time. Sorry. This is the one I thought was on probation but isn't. So sorry. Can you reprint one more time?
Yes.
Okay,
the
thank you.
same one.
Yes. Whoops. Let me make sure I got it right. Okay, there we go. All right, this is number 2. Okay, so this is your new case, $250 secured appearance bond. Then you have a second new case that actually dates back a little bit. And in this case, which is again number 3 on the calendar, you've been charged in a criminal complaint with possessing narcotic drugs, a class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia, a class 6 felony. These are alleged to have occurred on February 10th of this year, 2025. Looks like this comes out of the Buckeye Police Department. You'll get a copy of the charges and police reports from your lawyer. I'm appointing a lawyer for you in this case also. You have the same next court dates in downtown Phoenix. That's a status conference, December 8th at 8:30, and a preliminary hearing, December 11th at 8:30. In this case, you also have a $250 secured appearance bond and the same release conditions that I gave you in the other case. Finally, you're here on a city court case. That's number 1 on the calendar. This is from the Buckeye City Court. This is a warrant for failing to appear, and that was back on June 12th of 2025. In this case, you have been accused or charged with drug paraphernalia, possession of class 1 misdemeanor. They've also added a charge against you of failing to appear in a misdemeanor case, which is itself a class 2 misdemeanor. I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you in that case to assist you with the bond issue only in case you don't bond out. Your arraignment hearing in Buckeye. Ma'am, are you still with me? Ma'am? Viridiana? Okay, it looks like you're falling asleep. That's December 10 at 1 in the afternoon. That's in the Buckeye City Court. And I'm just setting what's called a placeholder bond in this case. It's $50 secured to make you eligible for credit and to ensure they will transport you for court. So your total bond, ma'am, your total bond across all 3 cases is $550 secured. You have a lawyer appointed for you in the cases, at least to a limited extent. Everything's on your paperwork. Go ahead and step to your left. I'll give you a copy. Thank you. Then Mr. Guillen. But now the whole gallery just sleeps. I think it's just like in your way. Knocked off. We'll hang it up there within the 3 of us in here. Okay. All righty. And are you Mr. Guillen?
Yes.
Hi, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
Larry Guillen Jr., 10368.
All right, thanks. And Mr. Hernandez, Omar Hernandez, will you go to the chair there? You're going to be next. All right, Mr. Guillen, you are here on a warrant for failing to appear at a status conference on September 16th of 2022. You've been accused in this case already. You've been charged with dangerous drug possession, a class 4 felony, and drug paraphernalia possession, a class 6 felony. You have already had a lawyer appointed. I'm going to give you a status conference, Mr. Guillen, December 8th at 8:30 in the morning, which is this Monday. That's going to be in the downtown Superior Court. The address is going to be on your paperwork. And Mr. Guillen, I'm going to affirm the bond in your case. It's $300 secured. You have to post it to be released. If you do not miss your court date. Everything's on your paperwork. Don't possess any weapons. No drugs without a valid prescription, okay? If you don't bond out, they'll take you over next week and you can talk to your lawyer, okay?
Can I speak?
Sure.
Okay. Now, these charges, they dropped them at the Superior Court in Mesa. They dropped all charges, and I went to all my court dates, and I did the pre-trial services and all that stuff, and they released me with no charges, and they brought them back up 4 months later, and they charged me, and they did not tell me I had a court date. Okay, well, you may be confusing this with another case, because when I look through this, you went into a deferred prosecution program, you were present in court, and you agreed to do a program. Then you failed out of the program, and they filed a motion to reinstate or restart the prosecution against you. And at one point, there was a warrant issued and quashed, and then finally, you just
had never responded, and they issued the warrant for you in September of 2022, which was fully 3 years ago. I did not raise the bond on you for the age of the offense, but Mr. Guillen, excuse me, you were definitely still being charged with this case, and so you talk to your lawyer next week, and your lawyer can walk you through all of it. If your lawyer sees anything wrong with it, they can help you. But on my end, everything looks correct and proper to support the issuance of the warrant. There's no indication that the case was ever dismissed. So you may be thinking of a different case.
No, because I went to pre-trial services and checked in that day on the sentencing date, because I went to all my court dates, because, you know, my dad was passing away at the time, and I made sure I went to all the court dates. And I went to the sentencing date, and the lady at pre-trial services, she told me that they squashed the...
All right. Well, you never did have a sentencing date in this case, sir, so I really think you're confusing it with something else. Why don't you go ahead and step to your left, get your paperwork, and you talk to your lawyer about it next week.
Excuse me, I got my credit cards in my wallet and my property. Can I, or actually...
Yeah, talk to the DOs about when and how you can access prisoner property. They have rules, and I don't know completely what they are, but talk to these guys. All right. Thank you, sir. Mr. Hernandez, Omar Hernandez. And then Morris Monin, will you please come to the chair? I got to remember to read that Mesa City Code. I forgot to tell you about that. Hi, sir. Can I have your full name and date of birth?
Omar Guadalupe Hernandez.
Which date of birth, sir?
8/20/79.
Okay, thanks. You're here on 3 matters. 1 is a new case. 2 are probation holds. I'm going to start with your new case. You have been accused of possessing dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, and narcotic drugs, also a Class 4 felony. Finally, drug paraphernalia possession, which is a Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is in the downtown Superior Court. The address is on your paperwork. It'll be a status conference. That's December 8th at 8:30 in the morning, which is this coming Monday. Your preliminary hearing will be December 11th at 8:30 in the morning. And in this case, I'm just setting what's called a placeholder bond. It's $50 secured. The reason it's there is that in the absence of your probation cases, I might well have released you, but your probation cases, you are getting a bond in them, and so you need something on the books in this case to make you eligible for credit. You can talk to your lawyer more about how that works, but that's why it's such a low bond in your new case. It's $50 secured with written release conditions that you're ordered to follow. They are pretty straightforward, and I will let you read them for yourself. In your probation case, you're on probation for 2 different felonies, and the probation department has notified the court they will be filing a petition to revoke your probation in each of your cases based on this new arrest. So you will have a lawyer in those cases. Also, your court date will be December 9th, which is Tuesday, December 9th at 8:30 in the morning in the downtown probation court. That will be a revocation arraignment and possible disposition hearing. In each of your 2 probation cases, your bond is $250 secured. That's $500 total, plus the $50 for the new case, making your total bond $550 secured. You have written conditions you're ordered to comply with, and do call your PO within 72 hours if you bond out. The main number for probation is on your paperwork. All right, if you step to your left, they've got paper for all that. Thank you. Mr. Monin? Good morning, sir. Oh, sorry, good afternoon. Can I have your full name and date of birth? What's your name?
Morris Martin,
What's your date of birth?
9/24/67.
All right, thank you. You are here on a new case. You were arrested for possession of dangerous drugs, a Class 4 felony, possession of drug paraphernalia, a Class 6 felony, and criminal trespassing, a Class 3 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for all of those, and I am appointing a lawyer for you. I should note before I forget, you were also booked for a Mesa City Code Section 6-1-22, interfering with a peace officer, which the police say is a Class 3 misdemeanor. There is probable cause for that as well. All righty. Again, I am appointing a lawyer for you. Your next court date is going to be a status conference, December 8th at 8:30 in the downtown Superior Court. Your preliminary hearing will be December 11th at 8:30 in the same court. That address will be on your paperwork. Bond is set in your case at $500. That is secured. If you bond out, comply with all of your conditions and don't miss your court date. If you step to your left, I'll give you a copy of that. Thank you. All right, Mr. Williams, Tremaine Williams, and then Sean Cohn, will you please go to the chair? Hello, may I have your full name and date of birth?
Tremaine Williams, November 16, 1992.
Okay, thank you so much. You are here on a warrant in a pending case. Looks like you've been charged with resisting arrest, a Class 6 felony, and false reporting to law enforcement, a Class 1 misdemeanor. And you missed a status conference on January 30th of this year. There was a warrant issued for your arrest. You already have a lawyer in the case, and you still will. Your next court date is going to be in the downtown Superior Court. The address is on your paperwork. It will be a status conference, December 8th at 8:30 in the morning, which is this Monday. Your preliminary hearing is now scheduled for December 11th at 8:30. That will also be on your paperwork. I'm going to affirm the bond amount set by the judge who issued the warrant. That is $500 secured. If you post it, comply with all of those written conditions. Do not miss your court date. If you step to your left, you get a copy of that paperwork.
Can I say something to you?
Sure.
Judge? Thanks, I appreciate it. I was beat up with my girlfriend outside of the art center, and that's the reason why I never came to court. I tried to talk to my my public defender. He never called me back. I'm homeless, don't have any family. I literally don't have a phone. I don't have anything. I was staying in a shelter. They kicked me out of the shelter. The reason why I was picked up is because I was sitting outside by my girlfriend's hotel room.
Well, I guess I'm disinterested about why you're picked up, ma'am. But back on the 16th, you got. That's an excuse that you may have flown with the court if it hadn't been a full year. This has been very, very close to a year. And it's not a doctor's appointment. You knew you had a pending felony case. I'm sorry that you had something bad happen to you at the time.
They beat me up.
This was fully a year ago, and it's a felony. So
it
you will have
a year ago, ma'am.
January 30th is when this warrant went out.
No, ma'am, I never got arrested on January 30th. I got arrested like in June.
Not when you were arrested. That's when you missed the court date. The alleged offense was further back than that, January 15th.
They have the dates wrong, ma'am.
Well, I'm just looking at the warrant, ma'am, and it shows, and I'm looking at the document.
But I have full video footage of the men beating on me.
Okay, ma'am, I am sorry that happened to you, but that's not a you never have to go to court again card.
I tried to
So back on January 21st, you stood in this courtroom. I'm looking at the order. They gave you a court date of January 30th at 8:30 in the morning, and you were released to pretrial services.
I was never arrested in January.
Okay, ma'am, then you can fight an identity defense with your lawyer.
Absolutely,
but your name is all over this warrant, and so you're going to have to post this bond if you're going to be released again to guarantee that you don't do it again.
I'm just saying, so they beat me up and I get a warrant?
Ma'am, you get a warrant because you missed a court date. So you really need to talk to your lawyer. It appears fairly unequivocal that you missed a court date.
Your Honor, is that I'm homeless and I don't have family and I don't have a phone and I was staying in a shelter with my wife. She has all the footage of what these men did to me.
Ma'am, I'm not unsympathetic, but nothing about this exchange leads the court to believe that you are likely to appear. You will have to post a $500. If you don't, you stay in jail until Monday.
One thing also, Your Honor, you called me a man, and I'm a woman.
And I apologize for that. I realized after I called you up here, I should have apologized to you when I realized it. I didn't. Okay. I apologize for that.
What do they have in the system? Because they keep calling me a man, but I'm a woman.
Okay.
So who did this happen to? Because I was just beat up by Mesa Police and then beat up again today.
So, ma'am, you have an identity defense in the case. What I know is that this warrant pertains to your fingerprints.
Okay.
I also, again, will state, I don't believe you're going to voluntarily come to court. You don't like the fact that you were charged, which is fair. You can very much dislike what's happening.
Going for a lawsuit.
But I do not believe that you're going to voluntarily appear. So please talk to your lawyer about this. You will be back in court next week. You step to your left, I'll give you a copy of your paperwork. Mr. Khan? Hello, sir. Can I have your full name and your date of birth?
It's Sean Thomas Cohan.
Which date of birth?
9/11/1959.
Okay, you got arrested on a new case. This is going to go out of Peoria City Court. You've been accused of criminal damage, a Class 1 misdemeanor. We do not appoint lawyers in this type of misdemeanor case. You have the right to hire one at your own expense or to represent yourself. Your arraignment hearing is going to be in the Peoria City Court. It's going to be December 22nd at 9 in the morning. That's 3 weeks from now. Do not lose your paperwork. It's got the address on it because you do qualify for release on your own recognizance. You may not go to the scene of the alleged crime. And from reading the Form 4, it seems like you do not live there anymore. Is that correct?
No, I do not.
Don't go there for any reason.
No,
No contact with them. Even if they initiate it, don't respond. Comply with any order of protection that might be served on you. Go to court. Can you do all those things? All right, if you miss a court date, you're going to end up with a bond. So don't lose your paperwork. Do not miss court. Okay? All right, thank you. Step to your left, you'll be all done. All right, officers, I've got Dalton Davis, born 9/17/93. He's not physically present in court. Is that because he's been isolated by the sheriff's office as a potential risk of danger to himself or others? Officer, sorry, I'll start over. I'm going to do my house calls. Who's suing them? Who's responsible? Okay. Mr. Dalton Davis is not physically present in court. Is that because he's been isolated by the sheriff's office as a potential risk to himself or others? Yes, ma'am. Okay, thank you. Now you go ahead. All righty. Then I will see Dalton Ibsen Davis, born 9/17/93, in-house to conduct his initial appearance immediately after this recording. I'll advise Mr. Davis he got arrested for new allegations of possessing dangerous and narcotic drugs, both Class 4 felonies, also drug paraphernalia possession, Class 6 felony. There is probable cause for those, and I am appointing a lawyer for him. I'm scheduling 3 court hearings for Mr. Davis. The first is a status conference, December 8th at 8:30. The second is a bail eligibility hearing, which is an evidentiary hearing scheduled for December 9th at 1:30 in the afternoon. The third hearing is a preliminary hearing, December 11th at 8:30 in the morning. All of those in the downtown Superior Court, and we will give him the address on his paperwork. And because he is on release in an open and pending felony case, which is CR 2025-142130, with an initial appearance date on or about October 22nd of this year, the law requires that I hold him without bail pending the outcome of the bail eligibility hearing. So I am going to order that he be held without bail pursuant to Rule 7.2b, and I will explain that to him. If anything were to change after I see him in-house, my final written order will reflect the court's ultimate decision in the case. I'm not going to update the recording unless I find a reason to. And with that, the court will stand in recess until 5 p.m. this afternoon.
She'll be on her way.
Thank you. All right.
Please be seated. Good afternoon. This is the 5 p.m. initial appearance calendar for December 2nd, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. As you just heard in the recording, this is a very specific type of hearing. I will tell you why you are here, if an attorney has been appointed for you, when and where your next court hearing will be, if you are eligible for release, what your release conditions may be, and your bond amount. I will not read all the release conditions to you, but I may point a few out that are specific to your matter. It's your responsibility to review them to make sure you don't violate them. You're all here on criminal matters. That means you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do may be held against you. I will only ask you for your name and your date of birth. These hearings are being recorded and they are being broadcast live. So there may be victims watching today as well. So I do need to read the victim rights advisement and then we'll begin the hearing. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law. That, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. We'll now begin the hearings. I'll call you in one at a time. When I call your name, please come stand at the podium in the center of the room. I'll call a second person's name. Please have a seat in the chair that's right by the door. We'll begin with Edith Gatewood. Please come to the podium. John Lee, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Edith Gatewood, 06/29/1999.
Thank you. You're here today on two matters. The first one is a justice court warrant. It is alleging that it's a failure to pay at a Santan Justice Court. So I have appointed an attorney to assist you because I have set bond. Your next hearing is at the Santan Justice Court on December 5th, and that's at 8:30 in the morning. There's a $50 placeholder bond set to make sure that you are transported to that court date. And that's because the other matter that you're here for today is a probation violation warrant. And that one, it's alleged that you violated terms 3 and 5 and that you absconded since March 2nd of 2024. So based on that and your failure to complete your 30-day jail sentence, you're not eligible for release today under the Arizona criminal rules. So I have appointed an attorney to assist you, and your next hearing in your probation case is on December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. And then that judge there may change these orders and you may become eligible for release again. So you'll get 2 sets of paperwork. One takes you to justice court, that's why there's the $50 bond, and then the other one will take you to probation court.
Okay.
Please take your paperwork and have a seat.
Thank you.
Yep. John Lee, please come to the podium. Jason Williams, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
John Lee, January 27, 1985.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You're here today on a probation violation warrant. It is alleged that you violated term 6 and 7 of your probation and that you've been an absconder since June 13th of 2023. So based on that, you are not eligible for release today under Arizona Rule 7.2C. You do have an attorney appointed to assist you, and your next hearing will be December 9th at 8:30 in the morning downtown Phoenix. This information is on your paperwork. Please take a seat.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I've been doing this sober living, and it's kind of like, that's why I've been at this whole time, but it kind of needs to be there.
Right. So unfortunately, because you were not in contact with your probation officers, they didn't know where you were. Mm-hmm. This is a valid warrant, and until probation court works through this warrant, you won't be eligible for release.
Okay, so at the next court hearing, I'll be eligible for release?
You may be. It's up to that judge, but most likely if you and your attorney present a good case, you can go back to sober living.
Okay.
But it just depends on what happens next.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Please
Thank
have
you.
a seat. Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
Jason Williams, please come to the podium. Heidi Schatz, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Jason Jamar Williams, 9184.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
You're here today on a new case. It was alleged that you were driving under the influence and it's aggravated. That's a class 4 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on December 8th at 8:30 in the morning. You are still eligible for release, and it would be under a secured appearance bond of $15,000 with drug and alcohol testing. If you're able to make that bond, make sure you go to your hearing and participate in that drug and alcohol testing.
Yes.
If you're not able to pay the bond, then you will stay in custody and be transported to the hearing.
Yes.
Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Heidi Schatz, please come to the podium. Itzel Minharas, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Heidi Schatz, 032573.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on 3 matters. It looks like they are very similar. Yes, they're all failures to appear, and so you already have attorneys in these cases. Your next hearing for all 3 will be downtown Phoenix, December 11th at 8:30 in the morning. And on each of the cases, you do have a bond set. The first 2, it's $2,000, actually all 3 are $2,500 bond set, so that comes to $7,500. I do understand that you are coming to us from ASPC Perryville, so depending on the length of your sentence or what's holding you there, you may not want to pay these bonds because you wouldn't be released. Okay, but I was going to advise you talk with your attorney. Their information is on your paperwork as well.
Okay. And is there any way I can go back to while I be transported, or do I stay at the jail?
So you'll stay down here while you take care of this until the 11th, and then you'll go to court on the 11th, and then depending on what happens there, you'll either go back to Perryville or you'll stay in the county jail.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank
Please
you.
have a seat. Thank you, ma'am. Itzel Minharas, please come to the podium. Travis Wells, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
It's Sofia Senor Mijares, 08/24/1994.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on 2 matters, and it looks like one is a grand jury matter. It's aggravated assault on a correctional employee. That's a class 5 felony. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing in that matter is December 10th at 8:30 in the morning downtown Phoenix. That has a $3,000 secured appearance bond. Your other matter is another grand jury warrant, and that is again aggravated assault on a correctional employee, a Class 5 felony. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is December 10th at 8:30 in the morning, and it also has a $3,000 secured appearance bond. However, you are in custody, as you know, ASPC Perryville. So unless you believe that you don't have any time remaining, don't pay your bonds until you go to the hearing and speak with the judge and talk with your attorney.
Well, I have 11 days left from
You only have 11?
Yeah.
So 11 plus today, is it based on today? So would you be out on the 13th?
11 days, 10 days. So, yeah.
Okay, so your hearing's on the 10th. So go to your hearing first before you anticipate paying that bond.
But is it possible that I can get out first and on the 11th when I get out and then go see my kids?
I don't know. That would be up to the next judge. Right now I have set the bond for you, but as far as we know, you have to be returned to Perryville unless you've finished your days. And if you're finishing your days after
if I
the
pay
hearing,
all those fines right there, can I just dismiss it?
Oh, it's not a fine. These are the bonds to ensure that you are...
Yeah, I know the bonds.
Okay.
But can I be released?
That's up to the next judge, because your hearing's on the 10th.
Okay.
Yeah, your hearing's on the 10th. So definitely talk to your attorney about this. Their phone number will be on your paperwork, and that is something to bring up at your next hearing as well.
Okay.
Okay. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Thank you, ma'am. Travis Wells, please come to the podium. Mariela Martinez, have a seat by the door.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hello, please say your name and date of birth.
Travis Wells, 4/16/82.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're here today on a grand jury warrant. It was alleged that you may have been a prisoner and assaulted with bodily fluids, which is a Class 6 felony. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix, December 10th at 8:30 in the morning. You are still eligible for release. It's under a secured appearance bond of $2,500.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are able to pay that bond, make sure you go to your hearing, and then at that time, you can talk to your attorney and discuss things with the next judge. Yes.
I have a real quick question. I'm on IPS right now. I just got out October 1st. Been out 2 months. Is there any way that I can get like a OR or a third-party release to my family?
Sure.
Like I said, I just got out. I'm trying to get on my feet. This happened when I was in prison, allegedly.
Right.
You know, I'm currently here.
Right.
You know.
I wish I could make a change for this on you for this, but it's a grand jury warrant, so they set the bonds, and this court affirms grand jury bonds.
Okay.
Okay.
Could it be modified or?
No, so let me describe. In the grand jury situation, all that information is presented to the grand jury. The docket's actually sealed. I don't even know what happened. I made no decision, and I can't change the decision of the grand jury because they did their decision-making process in secret, and I don't even know other than what the allegation is and the date and the bond that they set.
Okay.
So I can't make any changes for you today. I'm sorry, sir. But
Okay.
good luck with your probation, and I hope this works out well for you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mariela Martinez, please come to the podium. And then Juan Sandoval, have a seat by the door.
Mariela Martinez, September 22nd, 1999.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on 3 matters. It looks like all 3 of them are probation violation warrants. So it's alleged that you violated terms 3 and 4 of your probation. An attorney has been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing will be downtown on December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. You do have various amounts of bond set, $500, $250, and $500. So total, that's $1,250 secured appearance bond. If you're able to pay that bond, call your probation officer within 72 hours and go to your hearing. If you're not able to pay the bond, you'll stay in custody and be transported to your hearing.
Okay, so I'm bound to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Please have a seat. Juan Sandoval, please come to the podium. Dwayne Haygood, have a seat by the door.
Your Honor.
Please say your name and date of birth.
Juan Sandoval, 6/18/1978.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on 3 matters, and it looks like they're all probation violation warrants. It's alleged you violated terms 3, 4, 5, and 7 of your probation. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing for all 3 will be downtown Phoenix, December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for bond. On all of them altogether, it's $850, all 3 of them. So if you're able to pay that bond, call your probation officer within 72 hours and go to your hearing.
Yeah, I don't got that money to get out, Your Honor.
Okay.
But like I said, I've been checking in with my PO. I've been calling her and I've been giving her messages. I mean, and she never called me back.
Okay, and that is something you can discuss with your attorney and with the probation judge. So you'll see the probation judge on December 9th. If you can't pay the bond, you'll stay in custody and you'll be transported there.
I always been to court. I mean, I was with my court dates. I mean, I never missed my court dates or nothing.
I appreciate that. I wish everyone did not miss their court date.
I just, I got a job to go to. I mean,
Okay.
my job.
So these are valid warrants set by the probation department, and this court is going to affirm them. If you have reasons why they should be quashed or changed, those would be discussions to have with the probation judge at your hearing. Okay. Please have a seat.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Dwayne Haygood, please come to the podium. Rajiv Ghosh, have a seat by the door.
Hello.
Please say your name and date of birth.
Dwayne Haygood, 9278.
Thank you. And what is it, September 2nd?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. You're here today on an out-of-county warrant. It's from Pinal County. So an attorney will be appointed for you at your next hearing, and that's at the Central Pinal Justice Court on December 5th. That's at 8:30 in the morning. You're eligible for release today with the cash-only appearance bond of $527. If you're able to pay that bond, you'll have to get yourself down there to Pinal County. The information will be on your paperwork. If you can't pay the bond, you'll be transported there. Go ahead.
Okay, I just got out of prison Sunday. I'm on probation, and my probation officer name is Marissa. She already knows about this. Nobody knew I had a warrant until today.
Okay.
And this warrant was 9/8/23.
It is old, right?
Yeah, so
But
we
it
didn't
is-
know anything about it.
Yeah.
But I have in my property, I have a heritage check for my family for $4,000. If they let me cash it somewhere, I could post a bond.
All right, so
I don't
I'm
know how
not
to go about
exactly
doing
sure how that will go about. That happens in the detention facility. Normally when people arrive, if you have any cash on you, it gets put onto a debit card. But since you had a check on you, I'm not sure if that will be different. You can speak with the detention officers about releasing your property maybe to your family, and then they can pay your bond. You'll have to discuss that.
So
at
how
the
long do I have to
facility.
sit in this county before I get transferred?
Well, the 5th is only 3 days away.
Because I don't know how this court entertaining this shit.
Okay, please have a seat. Thank you, sir. Rajiv Ghosh, please come to the podium, and then Isaiah Martinez.
Hi.
Please say your name and date of birth.
Rajiv Ghosh, 6787.
Thank you, sir. You're here on a new municipal court case. It looks like it was alleged you caused criminal damage and you were part of disorderly conduct or fighting. They're both being alleged as misdemeanors. An attorney is appointed to assist you at your next hearing at the Goodyear Municipal Court on December 10th at 8:30 in the morning. So there is an attorney appointed because it appears to be a domestic violence matter. I have included Goodyear's phone number for you, and your bond is set at $500 secured appearance bond. If you are able to pay that bond, you are not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. I need to caution you, violation of the no victim contact order could be considered aggravated harassment, and that is a Class 6 felony. If you're not able to pay the bond, you'll be transported to the hearing. You have a question, sir?
Yeah, I was told, so all my property is in that location, and I have medication there, and I was unemployed for 6 months, and I have an interview tomorrow morning. My laptop's there. Is there anything the court could do to expedite anything?
So that's not your residence, though?
No, but all my stuff is there. Is there anything?
Right. You could go through a third party. If it was your residence, I would have ordered a civil standby, but it's not your residence. So, if you have a third party you can go through, that would be okay, but you can't contact the victim.
Okay, I have a third party. Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, please have a seat. Isaiah Martinez, please come to the podium. Kyle Multine, have a seat by the door.
Hello.
Hi, just stand right there. Thank you. That way the microphone picks up.
Okay.
Please say your name and date of birth.
Isaiah Martinez, 4/12/1977.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case. It's alleged you had dangerous drugs in your possession. That's a Class 4 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on December 17th at 8:30 in the morning, and you will be released today under pretrial services supervision. Please make sure you go to that hearing or they will issue a warrant for your arrest.
Okay, thank you.
Please have a seat. Kyle Multane, please come to the podium. Cody Canella, have a seat by the door.
Good evening.
Please say your name and date of birth.
Kyle Multane, September 4th, 1990.
Thank you, sir. You're here for an arrest warrant, and it looks like what happened here is an offense happened in July of 2024, aggravated driving under the influence, which is a Class 6 felony. There's 2 counts of that. So you were arrested and then released, and now the state has brought charges. An attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your next hearing will be December 17th at 8:30 in the morning. You are going to be released today under pretrial services, but you will have random illegal drug and alcohol testing required. Make sure you don't possess or consume any alcohol between now and your next court date, and of course, no drugs without a valid prescription.
Okay,
Please take your paperwork and have a seat.
thank you. Have a good evening.
Cody Canella, please come to the podium. Enrique Davis, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
It's Cody John Canella, and it's 6/16 of 92.
Thank you, sir. You're here today because of a probation violation warrant. It is alleged that you violated Term 6 of your probation, which is you didn't report in within 72 hours of release on October 3rd of this year. So they've issued the warrant for you. They're not asking for any bond. But you do have a hearing coming up. So your hearing, an attorney is appointed for you, and your hearing will be December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to be released today under the supervision of your probation officer.
Okay, I was told that I was under a hiatus. Like, I'm not sure. I was confused. Is all.
Okay, I do understand that you
I've
didn't
been going
understand.
to every one of my hearings.
Right.
You know.
So now you're going to get some paperwork.
Okay.
And on the paperwork, it has your attorney's phone number, it has your next hearing date,
Yes, ma'am.
and it has the court order that you need to call your probation officer when you are released.
Okay.
And that will be sometime today. So just have patience as they out-process you.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen, I really appreciate this. Thank you.
Please have a seat. Thank you, sir. Enrique Davis, please come to the podium. And then Justin Reyes, have a seat by the door.
Hi, Enrique Davis, 21499.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You're here today on a justice court warrant. It looks like it is a failing to pay warrant out of Santan Justice Court. So this court cannot appoint an attorney for you, but you can hire one or represent yourself, or you can just go pay them. So your next hearing is at the Santan Justice Court on December 16th at 9 a.m., but I've also included their phone number for you so that if you can get this taken care of ahead of time, do it. So you are going to be released today on your promise to take care of this, but just so you have a heads up, the warrant was asking for $805.
And that's for the fine?
I'm not sure what it all includes, but that's Santan Justice Court, so you need to call them, figure out how to get them to stop issuing warrants, right?
And basically pay whatever I owe, and then
Exactly.
maybe not have to go to court, possibly? I need to call them, though?
Exactly, you understand. Okay, please have a seat.
Thank you.
All right, and we'll wait one moment before we call on Mr. Reyes. I will read in the house call. Mr. Brian Hubbard. Our house call today is a danger to himself and others, and so he has been isolated. And that's Brian Omar Hubbard, Jr., date of birth August 16th of 2000. It is a justice court warrant regarding driving on an invalid license. An attorney will be appointed for him at his next hearing December 5th, 8:30 in the morning at the South Mountain Justice Court. Counsel is appointed for a bond issue only. He does have a secured appearance bond of $50, and I did place that bond because I noticed that he had quite a few other matters before the initial appearance court today earlier that had high bond amounts. So in case he's not able to pay those, he will be transported to the hearing. It is not my intention to return to this recording. If there are any changes to Mr. Hubbard's orders, they will be reflected on the written document. Justin Reyes, please come to the podium. Please say your name and date of birth.
Justin Ramon Reyes, 8389.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a grand jury warrant. The grand jury warrant alleges one count of child sex trafficking, which is a Class 2 felony. That's 3 counts of that. 1 count of child sex trafficking, sharing in the benefits of that, which is a Class 2 felony. And then 1 count of transportation to do with child sex trafficking, which is a Class 2 felony. So 5 counts total, they're all Class 2 felonies. The grand jury found probable cause. This court is appointing an attorney to assist you. Their phone number will be on your paperwork. Your next hearing is a not guilty arraignment on December 10th at 8:30 in the morning. You do have a bond amount available to you. It's a cash-only appearance bond of $250,000. If you're able to pay that bond, you would be released with electronic monitoring and you would be restricted to your home. There are many no-contact orders. I advise you to review them. They do apply to you both while you're in detention as well as if you are released. So just please make sure to review them. And again, your attorney's phone number is on your paperwork. Okay, please follow the officer's direction. At this time, that was our last matter, and so the 5 p.m. initial appearance calendar is in recess until 8 p.m. Please be seated. Good evening. This is the 8 p.m. initial appearance calendar for December 2nd, 2025. The court's orders for the taking of DNA and fingerprints that were given on the first calendar of this month shall apply to all matters on this calendar. As you just heard in the recording, this is a very specific type of hearing. I will tell you why you are here, if an attorney has been appointed for you, when and where your next hearings will be, and if you are eligible for release, what the release conditions and bond amount might be. I will not tell you all your release conditions. You need to read those for yourself, but I may point out one or two for the case that you're here for. Please remember you're all here on criminal matters, which means you do have the right to remain silent. Anything you say or do may be held against you. These hearings are being recorded and broadcast live. I will ask you for your name and date of birth. Because these hearings are being broadcast, there may be victims watching today, so I will read the victim's rights advisement. If you are the victim of a crime with a case pending before this court, you are advised that you have rights under Arizona law that, among others, include the right to be treated with fairness, respect, and dignity, to a speedy trial, to be present at court proceedings, to choose whether or not to be interviewed by the defendant or the defendant's attorney, to be heard before the court makes a decision on release, negotiation of a plea, scheduling and sentencing, and to receive restitution from a person who is convicted of causing you loss. If you have not already been provided with a written statement of all victims' rights, please contact the Victim Services Division of the Prosecutor's Office. I'll now call you in one at a time. The first person, please come stand here in the center of the room where the podium is, and I'll call a second person's name. Please have a seat by the door. There's a chair right there. We'll begin with Nimley Warlow. Please come to the podium, and then Aram Cheesebrow, have a seat by the door. So Nimley Warlow. Looks like he's wearing a zip-up tracksuit. Yep. Okay. Right here in the center, sir. Please say your name and your date of birth.
My name is Nimley Warlow, and my date of birth is August 31st, 1999.
Thank you, sir. You're here today because of a probation violation warrant. It's alleged that you violated terms 4, 5, and 15 of your probation, as well as some of the intensive probation terms, IP1 and IP3. An attorney has been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix on December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. Because of the nature of the violations that were alleged, you are not eligible for release today under Arizona Criminal Rules of Procedure 27.6, .7, and 7.2c. You do have your attorney's phone number on your paperwork, and you will be held in custody until your hearing before the probation court. Please take your paperwork and have a seat.
Over here, sir. Over here.
Okay, Mr. Aram Cheesebrow, please come to the podium. Adrian Basulto, have a seat by the door.
Aram
L. Lee Cheesebrow. He should be in orange.
He's the,
Did he get moved to a house call?
he's a house call. Well, he's gonna be last. We'll take him last. We'll bring him over.
Oh, okay. We can move him down. That's no problem. All right, Mr. Adrian Basulto, please come to the podium. Daniel Moreno, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
04-1388, Adrian Basulto.
Okay, thank you, sir. You're here today on two matters. One of them is a justice court warrant alleging that you acted as a contractor without a license. That's a misdemeanor. This court is going to appoint an attorney for you at your next hearing at North Valley Justice Court on December 4th at 8:30 in the morning, and that is because there is a $50 secured appearance bond set for this matter.
Okay.
The second matter you're here for is an out-of-county warrant, and it is alleging a probation violation and requesting no bond. So an attorney will be appointed for you at your hearing at Pinal County Superior Court, and that's the next day, December 5th at 8:30 in the morning. And because you're not eligible for release on that, because it's a probation violation, that's why I set the $50 bond on your other one, so you will get transported on the 4th, and then again transported on the 5th to Pinal County.
Okay, so I gotta stay here to the 4th?
Right,
Okay.
you'll be taken on the 4th to your first hearing, and then you'll be taken on the 5th to the Pinal County hearing, and then the judge there can change the order and decide whether or not to release you.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
please have a seat. Thank you, sir. Daniel Moreno, please come to the podium. Keon Brown, have a seat by the door.
Hello.
Please say your name and date of birth.
Daniel Moreno, 8/23/88.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on two matters. The first one is a new case. It's alleged you committed aggravated assault causing serious physical injury, which is a Class 3 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix on December 8th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release. It would be with a secured appearance bond of $50,000, and you'd be released to your probation officer's supervision. Your other matter here today is your Term 1 violation of probation. So whenever there is a new allegation of criminal activity, a Term 1 violation has occurred. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you. Your probation revocation arraignment hearing will be downtown Phoenix December 9th at 8:30 in the morning, and on that one there is a $500 bond.
So when was the first one? I'm
The
sorry?
first one is on December 8th.
So I have the 8th and the 9th, you can't put them on the same day?
No, sir. One is probation court, one is a new allegation court.
Oh, my.
So they're two separate ones.
That's horrible.
So you do have bond. If you're able to pay it, call your probation officer and go to your hearing. Now, there is an issue I need to address with you on your new allegations, and that is I was reading through your APETS notes, and it looks like you and your nephew live at the same place. Is that correct?
He's not supposed to be living there, but yes.
Okay, so what I have included in the bottom of your order on your new case is that you may return to and reside at the scene of the alleged crime only if the alleged victim has moved out, and so that's all in there.
Awesome.
If he hasn't moved out,
Okay.
then you're allowed to go one time with local law enforcement on what's called a civil standby to get your ID, medications, clothing that you might need. But that's if he hasn't moved out, because we can't force him.
So, are you aware, because what you're telling me this, I already have on paper, are you aware that I was served a protection order?
No, I don't have the order of protection, but that is our standard. If somebody is served an order of protection, then you need to stay away from where that place is listed on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a problem. I own the house.
That doesn't matter on the orders of protection or on the no contact orders. You could be the owner or the renter of the residence, but if you're the alleged defendant, which you are in this case, then you lose your right to say that I get to go back there. The victim has the priority.
Wow.
That's how it works, sir. But you can discuss it with your attorney, and for sure with the next judge, they can change the orders at the next hearing.
Okay.
Okay, please take your paperwork and have a seat.
Thank you.
Keon Brown, please come to the podium. And then Oscar Ramirez, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Keon Brown, 10/27/99.
Thank you, sir. You're here today for a new case. It's alleged that you committed theft of means of transportation. That's a Class 3 felony, as well as robbery, which is a Class 4 felony. Based on the law enforcement report, this court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on December 8th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release. It would be under a secured appearance bond of $25,000 with electronic monitoring. You may not leave your home except during the hours set by pretrial services. You're not to return to the scene of the alleged crime or have any contact with the alleged victim, witnesses, or complainants. No drugs without the prescription, or don't possess or consume any alcohol between now and your next hearing date. If you're not able to pay the bond, you will stay in custody and be transported to your next hearing, and then the judge there can change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Oscar Ramirez, please come to the podium. Sarah Seegers, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Oscar Ramirez, 9197.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on three matters. and it looks like they are all probation violation warrants. One moment. I'm going to give you information first, and then you can ask a question at the end.
Sorry.
So it looks like they're all alleging term 1 violations based on a domestic violence assault that took place November 8th, 2025. So because of those, each of your probations, the very first term is that you have no new alleged criminal activity. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you, and in your 3 cases, you now have a hearing on December 9th at 8:30 in the morning downtown Phoenix. On each of them, you are still eligible for release. They have varying bond amounts, but when you add them all together, it does come up to $1,300 of secured appearance bond. So if you're able to pay that bond, make sure you call your probation officer within 24 hours and follow the no contact orders and restrictions that are in place because of the alleged domestic violence. Make sure you go to your hearing. Okay, what's your question, sir?
So the 9th will be for the probation violation?
For all 3 of your probation cases. Yes, sir.
And then the case for the domestic violence is on 16th to get dismissed. So
I don't know about that case except for that's what this violation is based on. So you'll go to your probation hearing first, talk to the judge, you'll have your attorney there to assist you. You can discuss the actual underlying facts with them. And then it sounds like you have another hearing already set for the 16th.
Yeah.
Right,
All right.
so we have to go twice.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Have a seat. Thank you, sir. Sarah Seegers, please come to the podium. Trevor Vincent, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Sarah Seegers, February 14th, 1987.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today on 2 matters. It appears they're both probation violation warrants. So you may have violated terms 6 and 7 of your probation. An attorney has been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release. Each of them carries a $500 secured appearance bond, so that's $1,000 total.
Is there any way I could have the bond reduced?
So right now, these warrants are valid. They're from probation court. And let's see. Yeah, unfortunately, because of what you're alleged to have done on your warrants, they hadn't been able to locate you since January of 2023.
Yeah, I understand that.
So these are valid warrants. You will be held in custody unless you can pay the bond, and you will be transported to your hearing.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Please have a seat. Thank you, ma'am. Trevor Vincent, please come to the podium. Kayla Avila, please have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Trevor Vincent, 8589.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on 2 matters. The first one is that you failed to go to your status conference on November 5th, 2025, and it looks like the other one is the same. So you already have an attorney in these 2 cases. Your next hearing will now be December 8th at 8:30 in the morning, and on both of them, you do have a secured appearance bond of $500. That was set by the court that you didn't show up to. So if you're able to pay the $1,000, make sure you go to your hearing so they don't issue another warrant for you. If you're not able to pay that, then you will stay in custody and be transported to your hearing. Okay, please have a seat. Thank you, sir. Kayla Avila, please come to the podium. And then after that is Jennifer Fuentes. Please say your name and date of birth.
Kayla Avila, December 4th, 1993.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today for failing to appear at your sentencing that was on January 25th, 2024. So you already have an attorney in that case, and your next hearing will now be December 8th at 8:30 in the morning. The court that you did not go to set your warrant bond at $750. So if you're able to pay that, it's the secured appearance bond. Make sure you go to your next hearing date. If you cannot pay the bond, you will stay in custody and be transported to that hearing. Okay, please take your paperwork and have a seat.
Thank you.
Jennifer Fuentes, please come to the podium. Leroy Rogers, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Jennifer Roxanne Fuentes, 8/20/81.
Thank you, ma'am. You're here today because of a probation violation warrant. It was alleged that you didn't go to your probation non-witness violation hearing on September 8th of this year. So you have an attorney in that case already, and now you have a hearing on December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release for this matter at $500, but I do see that you are wearing all orange. Is that because of a clothing issue? Okay. All right, so if you're able to pay that bond, it's a secured appearance bond, make sure you call your probation officer within 72 hours and go to the hearing, or they will issue another warrant for you.
Okay.
All right, please take your paperwork and have a seat. Leroy Rogers, please come to the podium, and then Giovanni Marujo, have a seat by the door. Right here in the center, sir. Please say your name and date of birth.
Leroy Rogers, January 12, 1970.
Thank you, sir. You're here today for a probation violation warrant. It was alleged you violated terms 3, 4, and 5 of your probation. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release under a secured appearance bond of $150, and then you'd be supervised by your probation officer, so make sure to call them within 72 hours. If you're not able to pay the bond, you will stay in custody and be transported to your next hearing where the judge may change these orders. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Thank you, sir. Giovanni Marujo, please come to the podium. Justin Puja, have a seat by the door. And Justin Puja, have a seat by the door. Okay. Please say your name and date of birth.
Giovanni Marujo, 10/11/84.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. It appears you did not go to your revocation arraignment hearing that was on May 29th of this year. So you have an attorney already appointed in that case, and your next hearing will be December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. You have a secured appearance bond of $100. If you're able to pay that, call your probation officer within 72 hours and go to your hearing, where they'll issue another warrant for you. If you're not able to pay that, you'll stay in custody and be transported to your hearing. Okay, please take your paperwork and have a seat. Justin Puja, please come to the podium. Stephen Brim, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and your date of birth.
Justin Thomas Pucha, January 19, 1994.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a probation violation warrant. It's alleged you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing is downtown Phoenix on December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. You are eligible for release today under a secured appearance bond of $100. If you're able to pay that bond, you'll be released to the supervision of your probation officer, so make sure to call them within 72 hours. If you are not able to pay the bond, you will stay in custody and be transported to your hearing. Please take your paperwork and have a seat. Stephen Brim, please come to the podium. Salim Khalif, have a seat by the door.
Stephen Brim, 2/26/1966.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a new case. It was alleged that you had narcotic drugs in your possession, which is a Class 4 felony, as well as dangerous drugs in your possession, also a Class 4 felony. This court did find probable cause and appointed an attorney to assist you. Your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix on December 17th at 8:30 in the morning. You're being released today under pretrial services supervision. Make sure you go to your hearing, or they will issue a warrant for your arrest that will carry bond.
Absolutely.
Okay, please
Thank
have
you.
a seat. Salim Khalif, please come to the podium. Raul Perez, have a seat by the door. Please say your name and date of birth.
Salim Khalife, 11/26/1976, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a municipal court case, and so it's failing to give your information at an accident. It is alleged as a misdemeanor. This court's not able to appoint an attorney for you, but you can hire one or represent yourself. Your next hearing is at the Goodyear Municipal Court on December 17th at 1 in the afternoon. I have provided their phone number for you. Make sure you go to that hearing. You are going to be released today on your promise to go to the hearing and get this taken care of.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, please have
Thank
a
you.
seat.
Appreciate that. Happy holidays.
Raul Perez, please come to the podium. Aram Cheesebro will be next. Please say your name and date of birth.
Raul Perez, 09/15/95.
Thank you, sir. You're here today on a justice court warrant. It looks like it's a failure to pay matter.
Yes,
So we
ma'am.
will not be appointing an attorney for you.
Okay.
But you do have a hearing coming up at Santan Justice Court on December 16th
Yes, ma'am.
at 9 a.m. You are going to be released today on your promise to go to that hearing and
Yes,
get
ma'am.
this taken care of. And just so you're not blindsided when you get there, they want $415 from
Yes.
you.
I got a question for that. Can I make payments and
That's up to
Okay.
them. So that's why I've given you their phone number.
I don't have a warrant no more?
No, you still have a warrant until
Okay.
this is taken care of.
Okay, yes, ma'am.
So you've got to go to the hearing,
Okay,
and if you want to be prepared, call them in advance.
okay.
Okay.
Yes,
please
ma'am.
have a
Thank you
seat.
very much.
Aram Cheesebro will be next, but we're going to wait for just a minute. I'm going to read in the house calls first. Yeah, okay. So we have several individuals that we're going to see as house calls. The first one I've actually already seen. I'll just tell you on the recording what I did. This is for Andorfo Luciano Vargas. He's still over at LBJ, date of birth 5/20/92. It was a grand jury warrant. So 1 count aggravated harassment, class 6 felony, 5 counts disobeying orders of the court, 1 count disobeying or resisting a mandate of the court. Those are alleged as misdemeanors. He does have public defense services assigned to appointed to assist him. His next hearing is December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. He was on felony release when these new allegations occurred, and so he's not eligible for release now. Zachary Ward has bizarre behavior, date of birth 9/27/95. It's a new case with allegations of 1 count possession of a weapon by a prohibited person. That's a class 4 felony. 1 count narcotic drugs, class 4 felony. 1 count possession of a weapon in a drug offense, class 4 felony. 1 count disorderly conduct, class 6 felony, and 1 count carrying a weapon while committing a felony, which is a class 6 felony. This court did find probable cause, appointed an attorney to assist him at his next hearing downtown Phoenix on December 8th at 8:30 in the morning, and he is eligible for release under a secured appearance bond of $10,000. He would have electronic monitoring, and he has conditions and restrictions of release. The last individual is Bryant Williams, and again, that's bizarre behavior, and date of birth is 1988. He's here for a justice court warrant, and he is not going to have an attorney appointed because it's a misdemeanor. His next hearing is Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court on December 17th at 1 p.m. He is going to be released OR if he's able to. It's not my intention to return to this recording. If there's any changes, they'll be reflected in the written order. It looks like we might have an individual who wants to come back in, so we'll just check that out. Is this a person who has other questions?
Yes, a question.
Okay. Yeah, it's okay.
You can come in.
You'll have to remind me of your name, and if you can wait to talk until you're in front of the microphone. So
Sure.
tell me your name again.
My name is Oscar Ramirez, 9197.
Okay, one moment, please. Okay, yes.
So, I had another misdemeanor. I had caught with a speeding ticket, and I had to go and take care of it today at 3 o'clock.
Okay.
But
So that
I
was
happened,
in Phoenix Court?
Yeah, but I happened to get arrested at 2. So I wasn't able to go to court, because I've been here.
Okay.
Now-
Oh, I understand. So you missed a court date?
Yeah, and I'm gonna bond out.
Okay.
But my thing is this, can you like put some type of note in there saying that like I was in here or?
So you have this paperwork, and it's going to show your date stamped on here.
Okay.
So
So
there,
this
I
would be
don't,
my
I
proof?
can't add extra notes like that, but you do have the paperwork, and when you are released, you will be given more paperwork, and so
Right.
you can show them that.
And that wouldn't like, I wouldn't have a warrant out for my arrest or anything?
I don't know. If you fail to appear to a hearing today because
Right.
you were here, most likely you will, so you'll want to call your attorney in that case and let them know what happened.
Dang, it was a misdemeanor. I don't think I got anything.
Then you'll want to call the court
Okay.
and let them know what happened.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Number on that.
Okay, Mr. Aram Cheesebrow, please come to the podium. Thank you for your patience, sir. Please say your name and date of birth.
Emily Cheesebrow, July 10th, 1977.
Thank you, sir. You're here today for a probation violation warrant. It is alleged that you violated terms 4, 7, and 15A. So an attorney has been appointed to assist you, and your next hearing will be downtown Phoenix on December 9th at 8:30 in the morning. You're not eligible for release today because of the nature of the violation. So under Arizona Criminal Rules 7.2C, it's most likely you will receive a period of incarceration. So you're going to get your paperwork from the hearing today, and then when you go to the next hearing at probation court, the judge may change this order, but for right now, you're not eligible for release. Okay, please take your paperwork and follow directions. Okay, that was the last matter on our 8 p.m. initial appearance calendar. We do have the house calls that I'll go and conduct, and I will, as I stated before, make any changes on the written order. At this time, the 8 p.m. initial appearance calendar is in recess until 11 p.m.
Winkle to the podium and Chelsea to the chair.
Hi, Joe Hinkle, 1688.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today on 3 probation violation warrants that were issued with allegations that you violated term 3 of your probation. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a probation revocation hearing December 9th at 8:30. In one case, you have a secured appearance bond of $1,500. In a second case, you have a bond of $250. However, in your third case, you are being held non-bondable. So even if you were to post that bond, you wouldn't be released because you're being held non-bondable on one of the 3 cases, okay?
Gotcha.
All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Please take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Chelsea to the podium. Jacob to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Chelsea Bergeau, 9/25/1990.
Thank you, ma'am. It was issued July 15th, 2025. I am appointing an attorney to represent you and setting an arraignment hearing December 5th at 8:30. That will take place in Pinal County Superior Court, and you are being held non-bondable on this case.
Okay.
All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Please take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Can I have Jacob to the podium and Renz Charles to the chair? May I get your name and date of birth?
Jacob Liebeck, 7997.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or a dangerous instrument, a Class 2 felony, 1 count of disorderly conduct involving a weapon or an instrument, a Class 6 felony, 1 count of endangerment, a Class 6 felony, and 1 count of discharge of a firearm in city limits, a Class 6 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference December 8th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing December 11th at 8:30. In this case, you have a cash bond of $150,000. In the event you were to post bond and be released from custody, you would be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you would be equipped with electronic monitoring. You'd also have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, witness, and you may not possess any weapons. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Please take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Mr. Charles to the podium, Mr. Hilton to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Rand Carter Charles, 12/17/1998.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today on a new case. It is for 1 count of aggravated assault involving a deadly weapon, a Class 3 felony. Probable cause has been found, and I am appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have a status conference December 8th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing December 11th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $100,000. In the event you were to post bond and be released from custody, you would be released to the supervision of pretrial services and equipped with electronic monitoring. You also have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness, and you may not possess any weapons. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yeah, I was wondering if I can get my paperwork, please.
You want the paperwork, the information I just gave you?
No, I want, my discovery, so I can go over it myself with when I have to sit down and with my attorney, so I can be like, oh, this and this, so if anything, I want to go and try to push it for trial, because I don't know what's going on, like,
So no discovery has been done at this point. I have appointed an attorney to represent you. I think you may be referring to the police report that has been completed. Your attorney can provide that information to you when you meet with them on December 8th, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
You have a nice day.
You too. Can I have Mr. Hilton to the podium? And officer, would you see if counsel and Mr. Gallegos are almost ready? May I get your name and date of birth?
Yes, Your Honor, it's William Joseph Hilton, January 21st, 1982.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today on two cases. You're here on a new case, as well as a warrant that was issued out of Goodyear Municipal Court. Your new case relates to one count of criminal damage, a Class 6 felony, one count of DUI, a Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of DUI with a BAC of .08 or more, a Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of extreme DUI with a BAC of .15 to .20, a Class 1 misdemeanor, one count of leaving an accident, a Class 1 misdemeanor, and one count of failing to stay at an accident, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You will have a status conference December 8th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing December 11th at 8:30. In this case, you do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $15,000. In the event you were to post bond, you would be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you'd have alcohol testing and monitoring. You have a second case on the calendar. That is a warrant that issued out of the Goodyear Municipal Court. It is a pre-adjudication warrant for an offense date of August 16th, 2025 for driving with a license that was suspended, revoked, or canceled. I'm going to appoint an attorney in that case as well and set an arraignment hearing December 10th at 8:30 in the morning. That hearing will take place in the Goodyear Municipal Court, and you have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500. So between the two cases, it's a total bond of $15,500. In the event you were to post bond, you'd have written conditions. It does include not possessing any weapons, not consuming any alcohol, and not returning to the scene of the alleged crime. All of that will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
I do, yeah. Is there any way that I can ask the court for mercy and allow me to be released on my own recognizant with a promise to return? I have 5 children at home along with a wife, and if I don't show up to work tomorrow morning, this morning, 6 a.m., it's very likely that I could lose my job. And if I lose my job, and I know a lot of this is my fault, and I own that, I take accountability for that. A lot of this is new to me, but I'm asking the court for mercy so that I can continue to work, be released on my own recognizance today, so that I can continue to provide for my family.
So I'm not willing to release you today on your own recognizance. In the allegations of today's case, there was an accident in which you did not remain at the scene, which makes me believe you are a flight risk. In addition to that, the information regarding the preliminary alcohol concentration was very high, which makes me believe you are a danger to the community and danger to other people. This could have resulted in a very serious incident.
Yeah, and I own that. That's my fault, absolutely. Yeah.
And so because of those things, you do have a bond that you will need to post in order to be released from custody. In the event you're unable to do that, you'll remain in custody and they will transport you to those hearings.
I'm going to lose my job, Your Honor. I'm begging the court. I will appear. I don't have a lot of history with the court or the justice system. I got 5 children, some 16 to 10 years old, a wife at home. If I can't show up to my job, I will lose my job, and I'm begging the court to just show me any mercy. I will be here, I promise. I'm not a flight risk. I will be here. I can't lose my job and not provide for my family. I'm begging the court to show extra weight on the merciful side of this, and I have to be released on my own cognizance, please. I have to work.
I do understand that, sir, but again, these are very serious allegations. The result of today's actions could be much more serious. I am not going to release you on your own recognizance. Please step to your left. And was counsel ready?
No, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to just drop that one to the bottom for now. Can I have Oscar Alvarado to the podium and Billy Young to the chair? May I get your name and date of birth?
Oscar Alvarado, 10/29/2000.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today on a grand jury warrant that issued. It has an offense date of December 1st, 2024. It is for one count of aggravated DUI with a license that was suspended or revoked for a previous DUI, a Class 4 felony. I am appointing an attorney to represent you and setting an arraignment hearing December 10th at 8:30 in the morning. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $10,000. In the event you were to post bond and be released from custody, you'd have written conditions, and you'd also be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you would have alcohol testing and monitoring, and you'd be equipped with electronic monitoring. Some of your written conditions do include you may not possess any weapons or alcohol. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yes, so if there wasn't a warrant issued December 1st, but if I've been in custody since November 30th, how would that work out?
Rephrase your question.
So I've been in custody since November 30th, and it sounds like you said there was a warrant issued on December 1st?
The offense date is December 1st of 2024. The warrant issued December 2nd, 2025. So this is from a year ago. The offense date is from December of 2024, last year, but the warrant issued today.
Okay. I understand what you're saying, but I've never, okay.
Are you saying you're unaware of this incident from December of 2024?
Yeah.
Okay. So because it's a grand jury warrant, it is sealed, so I don't have any information regarding the underlying facts. The prosecutor's office took this to the grand jury, and you were indicted on this. Let me see if I can tell what city it came from. Looks like it came from the Department of Public Safety. So I'm not even sure what city this took place in. Possibly Tolleson, but I'm not 100% sure on that. At your next hearing, everything will be unsealed, and they'll be able to give you the actual facts surrounding this case, but the offense date listed on here is a year ago, December 1st, 2024.
Interesting. And then you said I do have a bond, so if I do pay the bond, I am eligible for release?
Are you here on anything else?
Just a charge I picked up Saturday night.
Do you have a bond on that case?
No.
Okay, so you're not being held on any other bond, and you're not in custody serving time on anything else?
No.
Okay, so then yes, if you were to post this bond, it is a secured appearance bond. If you were to post this bond of $10,000, you would be released, and then it would be your responsibility to get yourself to that hearing on December 10th. If you missed that hearing, a warrant would issue, and then you would forfeit the bond that you posted.
Correct. And then at my next court date, I can request for a lower bond if needed.
If you have not posted bond, or you did post bond and you feel like it's appropriate, talk to your attorney at that time. They can make the appropriate motion if they feel like it's necessary to reduce the bond that's in this case. This is what the bond was set at when the grand jury indicted you on these charges.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, if you'll sit to your left, the officer will get you that paperwork.
Thank you.
Billy Young to the podium. Fidencio Aguirre to the chair.
Hello,
Can I
ma'am.
get your name and date of birth?
Billy Ray Young, 9/14/85.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today because a direct complaint was filed. It has an offense date of August 7th, 2025 for 2 counts of aggravated DUI, Class 4 felony. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a status conference December 8th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing December 11th at 8:30.
Yes, ma'am.
You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $5,000. In the event you post bond and are released from custody, you would be released to the supervision of pretrial services, and you'd have alcohol testing and monitoring. You'd also have written conditions of release. You may not possess or consume alcohol, and you may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
Yes, one question is, so I got 2 counts of DUI on the same traffic stop?
Let me take a look at it. It is for August 7th, 2025. They have charged you with 2 counts.
And I'm just curious, how does that happen?
So I'll have you talk to your attorney about it. They will have the underlying information of what happened on that day. This is just a warrant that was issued, so I don't have the underlying facts here today. They can give you some more information on how they're proceeding with that. It could be a couple of different ways that happened, but your attorney will be able to explain that once they have the information, okay?
Okay, and one more question. Are the court dates on the paperwork?
Yes, so the court dates, times, and location will all be listed on your paperwork, so just keep that paperwork with you, okay?
All right, thank you.
Take a step to your left, the officer will get you that. Mr. Aguirre to the podium, Mr. Trujillo to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Fidencio Aguirre, 11/26/1994.
Thank you, sir. It does look like you are here today on a new case. It is for one count of exceeding the posted speed limit by more than 20 miles per hour, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you. You're going to have an arraignment hearing in the Maryville Justice Court on December 5th at 8:30 in the morning. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $1,500. In the event you post bond and are released from custody, you have written conditions. You may not possess any drugs without a valid prescription, and you may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
I do. Is there a way I can get released on conges just because I got to work, and then if I don't show up, possible and lose?
So I did review in the allegations you have been pulled over multiple times in the last few months, exceeding the speed limit by substantially more than 20 miles per hour. You have been cited and released and continue to get picked up for the same allegations, and so therefore I am not releasing you today on your own recognizance. I do believe you are a danger to the community based on the fact that you continue to speed at very excessive rates, and so you will have to post that bond in order to be released from custody.
So another question about the bond. Is there a way, how does that process work?
So you're going to be taken to processing here in the next few moments by the officers, and they're going to give you all the instructions on how to get that posted. They'll give you phone numbers to contact bail bonding companies if that's how you want to go to have this posted, or access to phones if you want to call family and friends to get that posted.
Another question for the bail bond. Could I pay that, the cash, or does a bail bond have to pay that?
If you want to post the full $1,500, you could do so. If you want to do something like 10% plus collateral, then you would have to go through a bail bonding company.
Okay.
So it depends on which option you want to do, okay?
Okay.
All right, please take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Trujillo to the podium. Mr. Delgado to the chair. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Eligio Trujillo, 4/20/82.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on 2 probation violation warrants that were issued with allegations that you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I am appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a probation revocation hearing December 9th at 8:30. You have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $500 on one case, $250 on the other, for a total bond of $750. In the event you post bond and are released from custody, you do have written conditions. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Please take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Mr. Delgado to the podium. Ms. Sturgis to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Gabriel Delgado,
And your date of birth, sir.
10/1975.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a probation violation warrant that issued with allegations that you violated terms 3 and 5 of your probation. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a probation revocation hearing December 9th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. In the event you were to post bond and be released from custody, you'd have written conditions of release. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of this will be in your paperwork, sir. Did you have any questions?
How much is that bond?
$250.
Okay, thank you.
All right, please step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Ms. Sturgis to the podium. Mr. Gonzalez to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Holly Sturgis, 09/16/88.
Thank you, ma'am. You are here today on a probation violation warrant that issued with allegations that you violated terms 3, 4, and 5. I'm appointing an attorney to represent you and setting a probation revocation hearing December 9th at 8:30. You do have a secured appearance bond in the amount of $250. In the event you were to post bond and be released from custody, you have written conditions. You may not possess weapons or alcohol, and you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours of release. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Please take a step to your left. Mr. Gonzalez to the podium and Mr. Weaver to the chair. May I get your name and date of birth?
Jesse Gonzalez, April 17, 2003.
Thank you, sir. You are here on a warrant from the North Mesa Justice Court. Looks like it's for failing to pay some fines related to a previous speeding charge you had. Due to the nature of your charge, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You will have an arraignment hearing in the North Mesa Justice Court on December 18th at 1 p.m. I am going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at that hearing. You do have written conditions of release. You may not possess drugs without a valid prescription, and you may not drive a motor vehicle without a valid driver's license. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
If you'll step to your left, the officer will get you.
Thanks so much.
Mr. Weaver, to the podium. Can I get your name and date of birth?
Christopher Weaver, September 22nd, 1984.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for one count of criminal trespass, a Class 3 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found. However, due to the nature of your charges, you're not entitled to court-appointed counsel. You are going to have an arraignment hearing in the Desert Ridge Justice Court, December 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. I'm going to release you today on your own recognizance. That is your promise to appear at that hearing. You do have written conditions of release. It does include not returning to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. All of this will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions? Please take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork. Alicia, do you know, is number 14 still a house call? Because it's not listed as one anymore.
No, it's not a house call anymore.
Okay.
And then also, an officer that submitted a search warrant, and he wants you to send it back to him because he needs to ask more information.
Thank you. And officer, so we have Clyde McAllister in here?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I have Clyde McAllister to the podium?
Yes.
And you said it was Step?
Yes.
Clyde, can I have you come to the podium, please? May I get your name and date of birth?
Clyde McAllister, December 11th, 1994.
Thank you, sir. You are here today on a new case. It is for one count of criminal damage, a Class 5 felony, 3 counts of disorderly conduct, a Class 1 misdemeanor. Probable cause has been found, and I'm appointing an attorney to represent you.
Okay.
You're going to have a status conference December 17th at 8:30, a preliminary hearing December 19th at 8:30. I am going to release you to the supervision of pretrial services. You do have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess weapons or alcohol. If you reside at the location of any alleged victim, then you must find an alternative residence. You may contact law enforcement for one civil standby to collect any personal belongings you may have. All of that will be in your paperwork. Did you have any questions?
No.
Please take a step to your left. The officer will get you that paperwork.
Right.
Can you get Mr. Gallegos and his counsel?
We're ready, yes. Thank you.
Fernando?
May I get your name and date of birth?
Fernando Gallegos, 05-10-05, 2005.
Can you clarify your date of birth?
02-10-05.
Thank you, sir. And counsel, can I get your appearance?
Good evening, Your Honor. Mark Adair, Suzuki Law, on behalf of Mr. Gallegos. We've entered a limited notice of appearance. I think out of abundance of caution that I would request the court appoint a public defender because I'm only going to appear for the initial appearance. Obviously, if we're retained, we'll do a substitution counsel.
Thank you, counsel. And do I have the state on the line?
Yes, Your Honor. Good evening. Ashley Stetson on behalf of the state.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. We are here today on a new case. We are here for one count of murder, a Class 1 felony, one count of conspiracy, a Class 1 felony, and one count of armed robbery with a deadly weapon, a Class 2 felony. And Mr. Adair, did you want to discuss probable cause, release conditions, or both?
Both, Your Honor.
Okay. And did you get an opportunity to review the Form 4?
Just the Form 4. I was not provided the PSA on the case, but I have seen the Form 4, and I thank you for letting me have the opportunity to review it and discuss it with my client.
Of course. And did you get the state's recommendation?
I have not.
Okay. We will go over all of those things. So, Ms. Stetson, he wants to discuss probable cause along with release conditions. So can you give me the state's request as it relates to probable cause only at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. Before the state gets started on the probable cause, the state submitted a motion to seal the Form 4, Your Honor. The state is requesting that the Form 4 be sealed for the time being. Your Honor, this is an active investigation. The state is requesting that the Form 4 be sealed to protect the integrity of the case. There are potentially other suspects involved in this case, so while and they have not been apprehended, so that is the reason for the state's request. In doing so, that, Your Honor, the state would ask Your Honor to advise counsel not to disseminate the Form 4, or counsel and his client not to discuss the contents of the Form 4 outside of their relationship. Thank you, Your Honor. But in regards to probable cause, the state does believe that that there is probable cause. There is an eyewitness that described the suspect. But given the fact that the state is requesting the Form 4 be sealed, the state is very apprehensive to give that much information. But the state does believe, based on the contents of the Form 4, that there is probable cause. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. And I am inclined to grant the state's motion. Counsel, do you have any objection to that?
Well, I even before the statements were concluded, I was thinking, certainly based on my conversation with my client and the charge of conspiracy, and there's not one mention of anybody else, I would thought that there probably was somebody else at large. So, no, I don't have an objection to the court granting that motion at this time.
Thank you, counsel. The court will grant that motion. Let me mark that, and then I will give you an opportunity to respond to her probable cause information.
And I'll avow to the court that I've been practicing for 34 years, and I will certainly respect the state's request.
I do appreciate that, counsel. Okay, and the Form 4 has been sealed. All right, counsel, and your position as it relates to probable cause.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have 3 counts here, and I understand that the level of PC, the threshold of PC at this level is rather low. But you do, as the judicial officer in this case, are limited with what you have in front of you, which is the Form 4. The state is submitting purely on the Form 4 without providing any additional information. So I'll take the easy one, the low-hanging fruit, if you will, the conspiracy charge. As indicated a moment ago, there's absolutely zero information in this particular Form 4 probable cause statement by the booking officer of anybody else involved. As the court is well aware, a conspiracy only requires an agreement between at least 2 people to commit an illegal act, and one of those persons taking a step in furtherance of that act. The only persons that are mentioned in this particular Form 4 are Fernando Gallegos, my client, the victim, just identified as victim, and victim's girlfriend. I do not see anything in the Form 4 talking about any sort of an agreement, whether it was through this messaging that apparently law enforcement obtained between Mr. Gallegos and the victim's girlfriend. There is an allegation that there was some communication between Mr. Gallegos and the deceased victim. However, as the court is fully aware, the victim cannot be a party to a conspiracy. I think that is certainly the most obvious omission in this probable cause statement to have booked him in on those charges, or the charge of conspiracy. There's just absolutely nothing in the Form 4 that would indicate that there was any sort of an agreement to either do a lick, do a robbery, commit a murder, anything like that, with anybody else. There's no mention of anybody else. So I would respectfully submit that there is absolutely zero information that support any sort of finding of probable cause as pertains to conspiracy. As to the murder, I see that the charge or the statute that's at least listed in the Form 4 is our statute under Arizona law talking about committing or death resulting in committing one of the enumerated felonies there, which is supposedly armed robbery. The problem I'm wanting to point out to the court with respect to the armed robbery comes from not just the written narrative, Your Honor, but also the pre-check boxes that the officers fill out. And I'm specifically referring to page 2 of 5, talks about the arrest of my client, saying defendant was armed when arrested with a small caliber firearm. However, the written narrative talks nothing about any sort of firearm being found on him. Apparently, Mr. Gallegos was arrested by Mesa PD. This case, the homicide, the deceased was located in Tempe, the Tempe marketplace. There's not really, I don't think, a good explanation of how Mesa police became involved, especially when they indicate that they were set up on his residence in Tempe. But regardless of that, the finding of a firearm small caliber is something that I think the court should pay attention to, only in this sense. The narrative talks about a 9mm casing and actual bullet. I don't think that there's any possible way that the state could have forensically determined that the actual bullet is the 9mm, but a casing with its head stamp, I think that could be easily determined. A small firearm, particularly a 22, a 25, a 32, maybe even a 38, not a 9mm. Mr. Gallegos was not found with any firearm on his person when he was arrested, either by Mesa PD or then later transferred into custody of Tempe PD. My client has indicated that the state has done paraffin tests on him, and those can be done rather quickly in terms of results, whether they're even handled or fired a firearm. There's no mention of that in here at all either. So I don't know if this is the proper subsection of our first-degree homicide statute, if it's more like a felony murder type of charge. But again, the state is resting on what's in the Form 4. There's no mention of anybody else. So if the allegation is that the other conspirator, if that's what I can say anyway, based on what I can read between the lines, so to speak, there's nothing putting that gun or a gun in Mr. Gallegos' hands. No testing to confirm that. Obviously, we have a deceased person here, and we cannot overlook that. I understand that. But our job here tonight is to determine whether there's probable cause for this particular individual that stands before the court now. I find it interesting that the victim's girlfriend apparently hears her boyfriend calling out to her. She gets out of the car and then hears the shots. So it doesn't say she saw the shots, but she hears the shots. She's able to provide a perfect description of my client down to the clothing he's wearing, but there's no mention of anybody else, at least it's included in the Form 4. But it's curious to me, and again, all I do are homicide cases and sex defense cases, that there's no mention at all about who shot or if there was another person involved in the case. I know that ties a little bit to the conspiracy argument for lack of PC, but again, the surveillance that is mentioned in here, there's just, apparently nothing captures the actual shooting, or at least it's not referenced in here. I don't know that there is a vast amount of information in this PC statement that the state is resting on, saying that my client committed the armed robbery. It doesn't even talk about him tussling with it. Again, she got out and heard it and must have saw something about pertaining to the robbery itself, but the shooting, I just don't see that there's any information tying that to him. I mean, I would respectfully suggest that I think that there's a vast lack of probable cause with respect to the homicide, at least as the subsection of the statute that the state has alleged in this particular case. The armed robbery itself talks about there was going to be an exchange of apparently money and a ring from the victim to Mr. Gallegos for a Glock handgun. That is not indicative of a robbery. Now, I understand they could have gone there and decided we are going to do a lick and we're going to rob him, but I find it interesting, while they find a box in this car, which we don't know if it was just Mr. Gallegos in or if anybody else was in, they don't talk about finding a Glock. They don't talk about any sort of cash on the victim or on my client. In fact, the Form 4, the numbered sections that they fill out, they indicate that there was no cash found on him at all. Again, I don't know that there is enough here to support that there was a robbery committed by this individual who is standing before the court today. So with respect to those other two charges, both the murder and the armed robbery, it's my, again, respectful suggestion that there's a lack of probable cause. That's my argument on the PC aspect of it.
Thank you, Mr. Adair. So the court is going to find probable cause as it relates to the murder charge and the armed robbery charge. I do believe you have brought up some valid points as it relates to the conspiracy as the Form 4 is with us today. So with that being said, Ms. Stetson, I'm inclined not to find probable cause on the conspiracy theory unless you have additional information you want to provide to the court and to counsel on the record.
No, Your Honor, the only information that the state has in regards to the conspiracy charge is outlined in the Form 4. The state does believe that based on the messages outlined, that there is the suggestion that a conspiracy charge does exist, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. So I'm going to not find probable cause today for conspiracy. I am finding probable cause for the other two counts. I am going to appoint a public defender in this case. Counsel, as you mentioned, if they hire you, you will file the appropriate paperwork. We are going to have a status conference December 8th at 8:30 and a preliminary hearing December 11th at 8:30. Those are both going to take place at the downtown Superior Courthouse on 175 West Madison Street. Next, we're going to discuss any release conditions. Ms. Stetson, he didn't get a copy of your recommendation. Would you mind putting that on the record for me?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me pull it up real quick. Yes, Your Honor. The state is asking for bond to be set in the amount of $1.2 million cash. And in regards to conditions, the defendant or suspect shall not possess any firearms, not return to the incident location, no direct or indirect contact with the victim, witnesses, or the next of kin, obviously the family, not to consume any alcohol or ingest any illegal substances, electronic monitoring, house arrest and curfew, and no contact with the co-defendant. In regards to the reason for the state asking for the $1.2 million cash, Your Honor, the state would bring to Your Honor's attention the fact that there are messages that suggest that the suspect did go to the location planning on robbing the victim, Your Honor. Also the link that the suspect went to avoid apprehension in this case, while this did occur on the 1st of December, meaning yesterday, the suspect was not picked up until today, Your Honor. There are, the Form 4 does lay out information in regards to that, Your Honor. The state does acknowledge that the suspect is 20 years old, that he has no criminal history. However, Your Honor, the lengths that the suspect went to, the fact that he was allegedly planning on committing an armed robbery that turned into a murder of a 19-year-old, Your Honor, that also gives the state concern. There's obvious concerns for the community of the safety of the community, Your Honor. The state would also note that the state did review the victim's impact statement. The state did not receive that until after it had completed its recommendation. The state would also mention in regards to the victim impact statement, it does appear that the mother of the victim did write that, Your Honor. She did request that the suspect be held non-bondable or on a $3 million cash bond. Your Honor, this could have been completely avoided had the suspect on December 1st not decide to go commit an armed robbery and ultimately allegedly shoot and kill the 19-year-old victim. So the state is asking for the $1.2 million cash bond, and that's all. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. Stetson. And Mr. Adair?
There's a lot to unpack, Your Honor, so a minute, please. Bond is obviously set for protection of the community, but also to determine whether the client's going to make future court appearances. As the court is aware, the law in Arizona is that persons should be released on their own recognizance unless there is information, credible information, to believe that additional conditions are required in the case. As the state has pointed out, my client is young. He has zero criminal history, misdemeanor or felony. Therefore, he has zero FTA history. And I find it interesting. Again, I have to keep coming back to this, but the state must rest, or is resting, and has repeated that to this court, on what is in this Form 4 and then obviously the statements. The fact that the state is saying that my client planned to make a robbery is nothing more than a statement from the state prosecutor tonight. If you look at the Form 4 and we talk about any exchange of information, the best reading, the most logical reading you could have of that discussion that's referenced in here is that my client, again, if it comes from his phone, because they say it didn't come from his phone, but the victim's phone, that there was going to be an L, which is supposed to stand for a lick, that this happened, was not a pre-planned event, but something that happened afterwards. It's already in the press that there was an exchange of gunfire in this case. It wasn't that I want to go do a lick and I'm going to shoot this guy to get this property. It's already out in the press, the media, that it was an exchange of gunfire. Again, nothing mentioned in the Form 4, and I understand they want to protect the integrity. But for the purposes of this hearing, this is what this court must be limited to. So the state can't have it both ways, Your Honor. Making the statement that this was how it was going to happen, but not have it supported in here, and then request a bond that is only designed to keep him into custody. And that is not a proper basis. There's numerous cases, a lot of case law on this point, that a bond of that magnitude, and you have to take into consideration, pursuant to our statute, his financial ability to even pay the bond. That is a factor that the court must consider. He is 20 years old. He went through 11th grade in high school at Westwood in Mesa. Then he converted to online. He didn't complete that, was having some difficulty, and now he works full-time at Amazon. He is a full-time employee, but he's an hourly employee. He doesn't make a lot of money. Of course, his family did hire our firm, at least for purposes up to this point for the initial appearance. So he's getting family assistance in that regard. Without any sort of criminal history, and again, with what facts we do know, I understand that there's a deceased person. I don't want to minimize that. It's difficult when you have those kind of situations, but we have to focus on what the statutes, the rules of criminal procedure, in the state of Arizona require when it comes to setting release conditions. If the default position is an OR release, and for the state to come in and ask for 1.3 cash only, that's punitive, purely punitive, and again, it's purely designed to keep him into custody. I suspect it's because they want to, again, protect the integrity of their investigation. But again, the state has to deal with what's dealt them. Just like as defense attorney, I have to do the same thing. A bond in this case might be something that, obviously the court has discretion, could be considered, but it has to be something that is reasonable and achieves the purpose of bond, Your Honor, not just to keep this individual in custody, because that's where the state wants him to be right now. Is it going to protect the community? And is it going to assure future court appearances? You put money on the line and say he's got to post some sort of a bond. Of course, he now has skin in the game. I understand that. But this court can use all kinds of alternative methods. He could be released to the third-party custody of his mother, his sister. They could put ankle monitoring on him. They can monitor him that way. They could put him on a curfew. There are so many things this court can do other than just imposing a $1.3 million cash-only bond. There is no indication that this was a planned robbery at all. You know, a month from now, I could be making some sort of a motion or, you know, filing a request for a jury instruction for self-defense. I don't know. This is what I'm limited to. I can read between the lines, but that's not enough, Your Honor. We have to go with what's here. So again, state making its statements now, I understand it, I respect it, but I have to also respect the process. My, again, humble request is, if the court believes that a bond is a further assurance or protection that is needed, that a much more reasonable secured bond would more than accomplish that, again, with the additional conditions. I just heard the state list a half a dozen people that he shouldn't have contact with, co-defendants, but we don't want to talk about a co-defendant, you know, victims. I only know of one victim. That victim's deceased. Again, I think that it's kind of routine. I think that it's just very typical. And I would, again, respectfully suggest that he would make future court appearances a more reasonable bond, a secure bond. No more than $100,000 would be more than enough to ensure the protection of the community, again, with any additional conditions the court might feel is appropriate.
Thank you, Mr. Adair. So I have reviewed the allegations in this case. I have also reviewed the criminal history or lack thereof in this case. I've reviewed the victim statements. I've heard from your attorney. I've also heard from the state. And with all of that, and I've also reviewed ARS 133967, which does give me the information on what I have to take into consideration when I'm setting a bond. And some of those things include, as your counsel had mentioned, the views of the victim, which I do have a victim statement here, the nature and circumstances of the offense charged, and the list goes on for about 15 different factors. After I have done that, I am going to adopt the state's recommendation. There is going to be a cash bond of $1.2 million. In the event that is posted, you will be released to the supervision of pretrial services and equipped with electronic monitoring. You will have written conditions of release. You may not return to the scene of the alleged crime, no contact with any alleged victim, complainant, or witness. You may not possess any weapons or alcohol, and you may not have contact with any next of kin of the alleged victim. All of this will be in your paperwork. This does conclude our hearing. Counsel, feel free to use that room if you would like to continue your conversation with your client, okay?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Ms. And Ms. Stetson, are you appearing on the next case? Oh, thank you. And officers, I intend to treat the next one as a knock. Can they hear in that room? Okay. Let's take a quick recess. I've got quite a few warrants piling up and give them a few minutes to speak, and then we will proceed with our last case.